Tonight, people experiencing mental health crisis will soon have access to a new community resource. Plus, despite it being summer break, the work doesn't stop for UNBC researchers. We caught up with the team to learn about their work. And Team BC won nationals in U16 volleyball with 2 Prince George athletes on the roster. Good evening, folks. I'm Eddie Huban, and welcome to CKPG News. Our top story tonight, people experiencing mental health or substance use crisis in Prince George will soon have access to a new community-led peer-assisted care team, or PACT, to help them stabilize and find support that they need. Adam Burles brings us tonight's top story.
Peer-assisted care teams, or PACTs, are mobile, community-led crisis teams that are trained to de-escalate mental health crisis situations and provide trauma-informed, culturally safe support. A new PACT has opened in Prince George and is operated by the Prince George Native Friendship Centre with oversight and support from the Canadian Mental Health Association.
Peer-assisted care teams are a mobile crisis response team. The team is comprised of 2 individuals. One of the individuals has learned about mental health through lived and or living experience, and the other individual has learned about mental health through an educational institute.
PACs are designed to help free up police time to focus on crime and divert people from hospital emergency rooms and the criminal justice system while helping them access services within the community.
So they work in teams of 2. The idea is that if an individual were experiencing a crisis, they would give us a call, and then our crisis response team would be dispatched to wherever that individual is located.
By September, Prince George residents will be able to access PACT services through a dedicated public phone number. This phased approach allows for the team to get comfortable and confident in their roles before the service moves to the full availability of 10 hours a day.
Currently, our hours of operation are 10 to 6. In about a month, we'll expand to 10 to 8, and then the idea is to scale to 12 hours, so we'll be 10 to 10 soon.
Having this new service provides another option for the community when current resources are already stretched thin.
Especially after COVID, we saw the effects that mental health have. Our community was hit quite hard. I know our school district was hit quite hard as well. We've got a lot of resources in this town, but we're in the north, we're a hub for the north, we've got long wait lists. I know that everybody is trying their best to have another option for the community for when you're not feeling great, to have the option to call and to have someone come to where you're located and have that human connection, to chat in person with someone that you can look at. I think it's invaluable.
Anyone that is 13 years of age or older and within city limits is able to give the PACT team a call when it becomes fully operational in September. Adam Burles, CKPG News.
Integris Credit Union has announced today that they are expanding operations into the village of McBride to provide banking services after their only financial institution announced that they would be leaving in September of 2024.
Following 7 months of research, of market analysis, of financial projections, of course, of community engagement, and just generally learning about and interacting with the Robson Valley, the community of McBride, and the Dunster residents and surrounding area. Our board of directors has approved our business case to expand physical banking services into the Robson Valley in the village of McBride. We know that there will be lots of questions about what's next, what the steps are, what this looks like, the whens and the wheres of it all. And those are going to be the next questions that we're going to be working in concert with the community to answer. So for now, what we can share is that we will be partnering with the community to secure a suitable space for a physical location.
Many think summer is the easy season for instructors and professors in various colleges and universities across Canada, but in fact it's anything but. We caught up with one such researcher and his team at UNBC, who's working harder than ever. Cheryl Jan reports.
Summer times are not a drop in the bucket for Dr. Siraj Islam, who's a climate hydrologist with UNBC. His work takes he and his team to the Upper Fraser River and the Williston Reservoir all summer long, amongst others, with an eye to different impacts on different events, like wildfires, on those bodies of water.
In Williston Reservoir, it's mainly we are looking at the impact of that dam, because once you have that dam, all that natural waterways and everything changes, and that is going to impact the ecology of water, right? Or whatever is there in the rivers.
The blocks being tossed into the river are rigged with temperature gauges.
We go to these different sites and we deploy these water temperature loggers. And the main goal is to collect some data and from these different rivers, different watersheds, and the rivers draining to Williston Reservoir.
Their work on the Upper Fraser zeroes in on fish habitat. Banush Rocknaldini is a second-year grad student on the team, and much of her work happens over the very busy summer month.
I've done my coursework from September to January semester, and then starting from summer, I started some training on my modeling. That I use this data, like water temperature data, to do modeling water temperature.
For her, this is the most important part of her year.
Mostly in summer, we do field works or training on modeling, and also research, because this is my, I'm starting my second year, so I need to write my proposal and then start my thesis.
Dr. Islam's year is divided between 40% classwork, 20% admin work, and 40% field work.
People think that, no, we are not working. Yes, we are working, because for summer, we have to supervise graduate students, not just in summer, throughout the year, on top of our teaching commitments. But in summer, mostly we go for these field works, because that's the only time, especially in this area, where we can do field work.
He says all the work that's being done over the summer months truly translates into practical application for the likes of the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, and his work has not been widely researched. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.
FortisBC is announcing a rebate of $10,000 for homeowners installing a dual fuel system. These dual fuel systems operated more than 100% efficiency compared to some older gas heating systems. The systems will automatically switch between electric and gas heating depending on the temperature, which Fortis says maximizes both comfort and energy efficiency. Any community north of 100 Mile House is eligible for an additional $3,000, and other circumstances could make you eligible for up to $18,000. Fortis adds upgrading to a newer dual fuel system not only brings better temperature control, but also a lower energy bill.
The dual fuel system also provides customers with an option to replace their aging gas furnace with a high efficiency system. And then that system can also help them lower their energy use over the long term as well. A higher efficiency system can help customers lower their energy use and the associated greenhouse gas emissions and associated costs as well. A dual fuel system also meets the criteria set out in the Clean BC Roadmap to 2030, stating that all space and water heating equipment must be more than 100% energy efficient by 2030. So that also is a great option for customers moving forward as well to upgrade to a higher efficiency system.
And some local folks are pulling together a special event next weekend in light of the wildfires that have ravaged Jasper. On a recent trip to Mount Robson, many people noticed the number of evacuees from Jasper and Valemount. They need to replenish food supplies to the community, and it was obvious, which is why Valemount is planning a major event over the next 3 days this weekend, over 3 days next weekend, beginning next Friday. Beyond food, other items that would be helpful are hygiene items like soap, shaving kits, toothbrushes, and toothpaste. Some kudos have been given to the Prince George Hospice and Palliative Care Society. In 1995, the society opened as the first standalone hospice in BC in Prince George, and its program supports services to help individuals and their families in some of life's most challenging times. The society just recently received accreditation from the Hospice Palliative Care Ontario program. That program has a very comprehensive set of standards for care, and the local hospice is in a unique place.
We want to ensure that when you come into our care, that you know that we are meeting those really high expectations and that we can prove it. We don't just say it. And I think that's really sort of why we're so excited and proud. You know, the whole community, we feel and we know hospice does fantastic care. The staff and the volunteers are exceptional. But now we can actually say it and we can prove it, and we have certification that says, yes, indeed, we do and are held to a standard.
This week on Entertainment Spotlight, we're taking a look at the second season of a hit Amazon Prime show, The Rings of Power, starring Moyfred Clark, Robert Aramayo, and Charlie Vickers.
Sauron sees himself as master of all Middle-earth. He seeks to rule it not only through conquest, but by bending the minds of all its peoples to his own. And for that he needs not armies, but rings.
This series brings to screens for the very first time the heroic legends of the fabled Second Age of Middle-earth's history. This show is set thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. It takes viewers back to an era in which the great powers were first forged.
Who is this man?
He is no man. He deceived me. He is Sauron.
What am I to call you? A sharer of gifts. Our work begins now.
Season 2 will continue the story following legendary Middle-earth characters like Galadriel, Elrond, Sauron, and Gandalf.
Is it my task to stop the fire? Is it my task to face Sauron? To try and cheat death might lead to an even greater catastrophe.
This sprawling epic series has a massive budget. It costs a whopping $60 million per episode to make. It will be gorgeous, have great fight scenes, and if you're a fan of the Tolkien world, it's a must-watch.
Promise me, Elrond, it will not stop until he is destroyed.
Forgiveness takes an age. I need your axe, old friend. Fight with me. Fight with our friends! When the darkness falls, there are always some who rise forth and shine.
The Rings of Power Season 2 premieres on Amazon Prime Video on August 29th.
You will give me the nine.
The lowest gas price in Prince George is sitting at $1.69.9 per liter at Costco. The lowest price in the province right now is in Kamloops at $1.62.9 per liter. Manitoba has the lowest fuel prices on average in the country at $1.51.7 per liter, while BC has an average price of $1.78.2 per liter.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Join the Domino's Lunch Club with 25% off all regular price pizzas every day. Visit domino's.ca to join the club.
The U16 Team BC girls volleyball team recently won the national title at the U16 Canada Cup. Prince George played a key role in the victory as well. Several athletes, including the team's MVP, are from Prince George, along with some coaches. Tommy Osborne caught up with the local athletes and brings us more about the big title.
This was the point that won it all for Team BC, as BC won the gold medal in the U16 Canada Cup National Championship.
It was really exciting. It didn't feel real at first. It just, because we were down, all of a sudden we just came back and did it together and won. And we'd worked so hard for that, and we're so excited to just at least be at the tournament, and winning it was just topped it off.
I was so proud of us, and I just didn't expect it to happen at all going into the tournament. But it was just such an accomplishment with the team, and making a whole bunch of new friends, and then getting to play with them was so much fun.
Prince George played a large role in the victory, as Team BC's program lead, assistant coach, and two players, being Dahl and Turner, are all from Prince George. Dahl played a huge role in securing the gold medal, as she earned the Maple Award as Team BC's MVP.
It It was super exciting. I'm really grateful for that. It made me feel really good that my team had a lot of trust in me, and my coaches also did. I felt like I was reliable to the team.
Tyler was a very well-rounded athlete for us. She was on the floor most of the time and did a lot of great things for us off the court as well, represented our Team BC values.
It was a hard-fought match against Team Alberta Black in the gold medal game, as BC took a 1-0 lead in sets before Alberta won the next two. However, when faced with elimination, BC stepped up and won the next two sets, and the deciding fifth set was won convincingly with a 15-8 score.
We had to really trust each other and believe that as a team we could come back, and we just had to reset and focus on the game.
They never gave up, they always fought, they worked hard, they stuck together, they did all the little things, and that's what got them through at the end. And those are things, intangibles, that we can't teach.
The gold medal win capped off a dominant showing at the Canada Cup, as prior to the finals, Team BC went 15-2 in sets. Tommy Osborne, CKPG News.
It's officially the BC day-long weekend, unless you're still putting in a couple hours this afternoon and into this evening. As you take a look outside at our satellite imagery, a couple clouds is what we saw today in the Prince George area, but nothing really more than that. No real chance of precipitation either as we look ahead to the weekend. Here is our future cast. One little speck of green down there on the coast, the rest forming over Alberta. So really no precipitation at all across all of British Columbia for our holiday long weekend. Some highs tomorrow across BC. 27 degrees is what we're aiming for here in the Prince George area. The heat, of course, a little bit further south of us in the interior. 38 for Kamloops, 36 for Kelowna. Much nicer down on the coast. 21 in Victoria, 27 for those in Vancouver. Here in the broadcast region, 27s across the board. Mackenzie, Fort St. James, Vanderhoof, and Prince George all reaching that mark. It will get a little warmer as you go further south. As I noted, Quesnel at 30, McBride at 31, and let's not forget Burns Lake sitting over there at 28 degrees for their high. Take you across the country for some highs tomorrow. 27 in Vancouver, 26 for Regina, Winnipeg 24. A bit of a system moving through Ontario. They'll have some sun, cloud, possible rain and a thunderstorm in Toronto, Halifax 25, as well as St. John's. Looking ahead to early next week, this is when that air mass in the jet stream starts to break down. It's currently up above us in British Columbia right now. It'll move south of the Canada-US border, and that's when we'll see temperatures start to dip a little bit more and bring us more closer to what we expect as a seasonal temperature for early August here in the area. Take a look at your extended guess for Burns Lake. 5 degrees tonight, 28 tomorrow, and then 25, 24 for the rest of the long weekend, and then back up with 27s on Wednesday and Thursday for those in that area. In Mackenzie, 8 degrees overnight tonight, 27 is what we're aiming for tomorrow. Bit of a dip for the Sunday at 21, and then back up into the kind of low 20s, 23, 24, 25, and then all the way back up to 26 as the heat continues to persist across the region. 8 degrees overnight in McBride. 31 is where they'll get to tomorrow as they will crest the 30-degree mark. 27, 26, 27 the rest of the way for the long weekend. Thankfully, overnight lows getting below 10 degrees allow a lot of that daytime heat to escape. Also means that unlike some of our counterparts a little bit further south, no heat warnings across our entire broadcast region here in the Prince George area. Quesnel, 10 degrees overnight tonight. They'll reach 30 tomorrow for a high before cooling off a couple degrees to 29 and 26 for the remainder of the BC day-long weekend, and then a trio of 27s as you look ahead to the next work week beginning on Tuesday. And here in the Prince George area, 10 degrees tonight and mainly clear. Tomorrow, 27 is the high we will approach. A little bit of cloud rolling in on your holiday Sunday, 26 for a high, 24 on the Monday. And then as you return to work next week, 26, 26, and 25 is where you'll sit. Those overnight lows down below the 10-degree mark, so that little bit of chill at night helping that daytime heat escape.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Join the Domino's Lunch Club with 25% off all regular price pizzas every day. Visit Domino's.ca to join the club.
The Prince George Kodiaks visit the Langley Rams tomorrow afternoon in the BC Football Conference. The Kodiaks are looking to get back on track after falling last weekend to Vancouver Island. They entered the contest with a 1-1 record, while the Rams are 0-1. Quarterback Sawyer Thiessen will look to continue his strong campaign. He has 4 touchdowns and almost 500 passing yards through just 2 games. Kickoff for this one's at 4 p.m. The Kodiaks are back home next Saturday, August 10th, when they entertain the North Valley Huskers. And with the Olympics in full swing, let's take a peek at that medal situation. Canada sits 10th with 11 medals total, 3 golds. They earned another bronze this morning, courtesy of Kylie Massey in swimming. Also of note, Canada's basketball team defeated Spain to go 3-0 in group play, so they'll be advancing to the knockout stage, looking for a medal of their own. Top 5 in the count. China still leads the way with 31 total medals, 13 of which are gold. France has risen up to second place with 11 golds, 36 medals. And rounding out the top 5 is Australia, the United States, and Great Britain. It was a great day for football fans yesterday as the NFL is officially back, sort of. We bring you the highlights from the Hall of Fame preseason game, as well as a huge home run, all in tonight's CKP3.
Starting off with the first score of the year.
13th play of this drive. Mills, good protection underneath. Touchdown Texans. Quatoriano with a score and a fantastic drive put together by Davis Mills.
Welcome back, NFL. Davis Mills finds Tegan Quatoriano with an easy score as he quite easily strolls in for an opening drive touchdown. It was a sight for sore eyes for football fans as this touchdown capped off a 13-play, 6.5-minute opening drive that was masterfully executed by Houston. Next, a dominant showing.
To run the football, and I don't think they're going to stray too far from that this year either. Wide open for a touchdown, it's Colin Johnson. 3rd down and 4. End zone, why not? How about some more?
Have a day, Colin Johnson. He was on the Bears practice squad last year, but more showings like this will certainly help his cause as he vies for a roster spot on a Chicago team stacked with receiver talent. 2 touchdowns and this catch of the game make Johnson our pick for the game's MVP. Finally, an absolute bomb of a homer.
Really gets your... In the air, left center field. Slugging percentage. Into the bleachers. Wow! He crushed it.
No doubt about this one, that ball is gone. Seiya Suzuki sent that ball 459 feet away for his 16th home run of the season. Given that he hit this on August 1st, he got an early start on claiming the longest home run of the month in tonight's CKP3.
That's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for joining us as always, and we will see you next week. Have a great long weekend, and a good night.